Hey Dr. Carr, it's Vanessa Bishop, and I'm going to be doing my video on self-mentoring, and I'm going to be referring to your book that you wrote. I want to start by complimenting you on your writing. You're right when you said it's an easy read because it kept my interest while I read it, and before I knew it, I had read the book. So I want to start by saying that self-mentoring is a process where an individual takes the responsibility of examining themselves and their abilities and needs, and they take that responsibility and commit to focusing on working towards improving some expectations that they may have. There's 4 components that were described in the book: self-awareness, self-development, self-reflection, and self-monitoring. And as a teacher, I feel like a lot of people do this on a regular basis, but we didn't ever realize that it was a thing, basically. We just looked at it more as reflecting on our day after the school day, thinking about how things went and what you could do to improve them. So I'm going to start with self-awareness. To be an effective self-mentor, we need to be honest with ourselves. And I like how you focused on talking about that because it is hard sometimes to critique yourself, but to be able to be a successful self-mentor, we need to be able to do that, and we need to be able to focus on the things that we may not be the best at and things that we may need work on improving to be a more successful employee for our organization. Along with that, we need to be able to evaluate the skills we already have, what type of leadership we engage in, and how those things can align with our environment that we are in. The environment's important because, especially if you're starting a new job, these are going to be new to you, and you need to be able to align your own skills with the environment that you are seeking to improve your skills in. Second, self-development. This is where you move away from really focusing on yourself, and you start thinking about those expectations that you create, that you had examined in the last process, and you take those expectations and you begin to decide where you really need to focus. And from there, you decide on what area do I really want to improve in my line of work. And from there, that will drive the strategies and the measurements that you're going to collect is all derived from that. Let's see. We also need to make sure that we have enough time to take successive data. If you don't take enough data, it's not going to be a true comparison to what you're thinking is realistic compared to what is reality. So you need to be able to take enough data to compare it to what you're thinking, and that'll help you to organize your thoughts and be able to focus on what opportunities you need to do to improve your skills. The next thing is self-reflection, and again, this is something that I think teachers do on a regular basis. We just did not do it in such a formal manner. Again, you might jot notes, and that's data. You might take incidental notes. You may make tallies, considering what you've done that day at work or over a period of time. This is where you take the data that you've collected, and in self-reflection, you review it and you analyze it and you really think that through. And Dr. Carr, you said that it's necessary to organize one's thoughts, and that you mentioned that it's very helpful sometimes to invite a friend or a colleague into the process because it gives you another set of eyes, another brain to review it and see if they kind of see the same things that you're seeing. And so that should improve your ability to read the data, analyze it, reflect on it, and make the changes that you need to do. And once you implement the strategies, changes that you're going to do, you want those to become a habit. And once they're a habit, then you're successfully implementing the strategies that you have developed as a result of the data that you've gathered. And then that leads to self-mentoring, the last stage. It helps you decide that if your change behaviors or practices are at a successful level of achievement. People find that they have not met expectations, may want to review the data they've collected, maybe set up another form of data collection, or continue it to gain more data. Basically, I really like how when you wrote it, you talked about how that may not be the end of the process. It may be starting into another expectation that you may or may not want to explore more. And last, if you're happy with the changes that you achieve, you should monitor them and maintain the success level that you've gained with examining that specific area. And hopefully from there, that will help you to move into the next level of achievement or successes that you envisioned when you began this process. Thank you, Dr. Carr.